Welcome to the Stock Option Assassins free trade of the week. My name is Eric and today is Monday, April 27th, 2015. And I want to first apologize for not putting out a video the last few weeks. I had a pretty nasty cold, earlier in the month, and I'm kind of finally back to normal. Trust me, members have been listening to me hack and cough for the last few weeks, so I'm definitely feeling better. So I'm getting back to the weekly videos. I might even throw a few extra out there. So in this week's video, we're going to take a look at a few of the indexes, a couple different ways to play, the volatility and that kind of thing that's going on right now. But if you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more technical analysis videos and strategies. And let's start with the SPY. We had a small gap up today, and we kind of moved lower. And you can see that we basically kind of came into a little bit of resistance. If for my short-term overbought, oversold, I use the DMI Stochastic Extreme. That's the bottom indicator here. And you can see we were a little bit overbought. That ticked down today. We actually picked up in our service, picked up some SPY puts. And I want to go over one of the things we look at there. So if I'm going to look at the option chain for the SPY. And I'm looking at June options, and we like to go a little bit out of the money on these for short-term trades. We went with the 204 puts. They're about a delta 30. And I'm going to, and I'm in Thinkorswim, I'm going to right-click the June 204 puts, and I'm going to put that on a chart. And this is something we do. We like to, when we play our SPY options, we like to just strictly chart the option itself, and mainly I don't look at the oscillator here, but mainly the DMI stochastic, and you can see that we got the green arrow buy signal on the June 204 puts, right? So we got in for about a 2 1/4. We got these late in the day, and all we're really looking is for, if this is a short-term top, great. If not, we're looking for a 1 to 2 day move until these things get overbought. So this can yield anywhere from 30% gain, 40% gain over the next couple days. So it also kind of acts as a hedge if you are long other names. We're currently long JP Morgan in the service, but if you're long other names, this is a good way to sort of buy protection that there's a little bit of momentum here. Obviously, you can look at just the candlestick pattern that we gapped up. We closed relatively on the low, so there's a bearish engulfing candle. I'm not predicting complete Armageddon here, but we do have a Fed announcement on Wednesday that could kind of sway the market a little bit. So short-term overbought on the index, on the SPY. We're at resistance, looking for a little bit of a pullback here, and then we'll see what happens. So a couple other things. I want to talk about the down day we had today. So we were down, 0.4%. But Apple, on the other hand, was actually up almost 2%. And Apple they reported earnings after the bell. They're up a little bit more after earnings, another 1.5% or so. We'll see what that does tomorrow. But the fact that Apple was up this much, this actually held up, I think, the S&P as well as the NASDAQ, because Apple's relatively heavily weighted in these indexes. So the down day was slightly minimized by Apple. And you can look no further than the IWM Russell, which was down over 1% and is starting to kind of retest the lower band here on our Keltner channels. This is also getting close to the 50-day moving average. I don't have that on here, but the Russell actually made a bigger move lower. So we're definitely seeing a little bit of some profit taking, at least today. The other thing we noticed was that the IBB had a huge red candle. This was on the back of some Biogen news that came out last week. So this was one of the generals. The IBB was the biotech ETF was actually one of the generals. And what I mean is this is one of the things that was leading the market higher. This and the Russell. And these two things are starting to not look pretty. And so, maybe Apple saves the day tomorrow, but how long can that, if the selling really starts to kick in, then I think you're going to be in trouble. The one last thing that's sort of a red flag to me here is the financials just really aren't participating. They're in a big sideways channel. They're temporarily overbought on our oscillator. They're kind of near that zero line. This is very typical of a reversal area. So, there's no clear direction here. I think what we really are looking for bulls at least, is for the financials to get going. and that would sort of help the market. So right now that's not happening. So if the financials kind of stay range bound, I think the S&P stays range bound as well. So what I'm going to be looking at it possibly tomorrow, if the selling starts to pick up a little bit, Costco is actually looking a little bit like it wants to sell off. There's also some moving averages here. Let me bring those in real quick just so you can kind of see. So I have two charts here. It's the same chart. They're both dailies. These are some moving averages. I have a 13 EMA, a 20 simple, 50 simple, and a 200 simple down here. So you can see, Costco sort of broke the moving averages. It's sort of retesting here. And my sort of entry system over here is we're flatlining up here on the stochastic. So we're very overbought. And if we take out today's low and this thing starts to turn back lower, both the oscillator and the stochastic, I'm interested in picking up some May. We'll look at the option chain real quick. I'm picking up some short-term May, either 145 or 144 puts. These are trading, the 145s are trading for about $1.30 something right now. And I would look for Costco to basically retest these lows around 143 to 144. So nothing, huge. If it gets really ugly and you can pick these up and we head down to the 200-day moving average, that's going to be a pretty good move. So overall, the market, the S&P looks pretty good. Apple's, I think, holding them up today. But between the Russell, IBB, and financials, if those things start to move lower, then our puts on the spiders is going to do well. And I like puts on Costco. You guys have a great night. I'll see you at the next update.